Hello. Is anyone there? Just checking to see if this is working. Making sure the video is going, that the audio is going, that you can hear music. You're also going to be hearing traffic outside because it is a rainy day here. And we wanted to get some fresh air. Oh, and we got my voice echoing back at me. Oh, how wonderful. It's my favorite. Oh yeah, our baby dragon. I wanted to put her to somebody to make sure that the camera was focusing. And it's semi-behaving, but only semi-behaving. Duff Poppers, hello! Glad you could join us tonight. Well, tonight on the East Coast, you're on the West Coast. So, tonight I was thinking about getting back to the roots of my idea of my art streaming and draw something that is relaxing. Just kind of not. I mean, there's some things that are fun and crazy, and I'm definitely going to be doing more of that in July because July is Art Fight. So I am going to be doing various original characters being drawn during my stream. But for tonight, I was thinking one where you can just kind of sit back, relax, put it on in the background, and not have to worry about paying attention too much. Obviously, you don't have to pay attention to any of these. Duh. But, so tonight, I was thinking about making a picture like I'd like to do some from time to time with just a ballpoint pen. For example, I'm going to remove our little baby dragon and show you some of my previous examples of start and finish with a ballpoint pen pictures. These aren't ones that I did anything with pencil ahead of time. I just started with a normal old ballpoint pen, whether it's your classic Bic stick or Ink Joy, if you can see that. Oh, come on, camera. Behave. Ink Joy. There it is. Or what have you. So I am gonna it's just gonna be a scenic picture tonight. No real characters in it. And if it turns out well, maybe I'll add a little bit of color to it. But black and white does have a nice, good, moody feel to it. And the thing with the ballpoint pen is that it's kind of forgiving in a way that it is kind of supposed to look sketchy and messy. Especially if it's a moody picture. Like trees. Trees look pretty good with just ballpoint. Stones look very good with ballpoint. Grass looks pretty good with ballpoint. And as we've all seen in nature, nature is kind of messy sometimes. It's not very orderly. It's not very, clean. So that's kind of the fun of doing ballpoint pictures, is to just get messy with it. This one, if you were curious, was done in 2023. And this one, apparently, done in 1998. So it's an oldie. It's an oldie. But it was fun to play with the lighting and the shadows in this. And that's kind of what I'm hoping to do tonight. Just do something fun. Do something kind of moody, kind of scenic. Scenic, yes. Words are a thing I'm good at. That's a big lie. I am not good at words. So, let me get out this is regular paper, but I prefer cardstock. You can't really tell a difference looking like at the screen between paper and cardstock, but I can definitely feel a difference. One is a heavier quality. It doesn't bend as easily as paper. It's just dirtier, that's all. Oh, hi, Bonnie. I'm very glad that you made it to one of the streams. And for anybody else who is watching right now or watching on YouTube, I have other videos on YouTube of my previous streams. So, yay. Again, these are just a thing that I recommend putting on in the background when you feel like drawing or doing something creative. Like if you're in the kitchen baking and you just want to feel another voice in the background, or you're, you know, working on puzzles or zoning out to Pinterest or something like that. Just have something on in the background. So, to give some examples, I've got my handy dandy tablet that I was showing you guys when on the last stream for my Pinterest reference board. These are some of the some of the examples of what I was thinking of for tonight's stream. Something probably along this line. Just like a little crypt in the middle of the woods. Add a little tree or something on top of it. And then if it looks good and we have some time left at the end, maybe I'll color it. Add some greens and some yellows and flesh it out a bit. So, without further ado, let me start. I'm just going to start with the basic shape. The nice thing about ballpoint is that it is kind of forgiving in lights and darks. You can go gentle with a ballpoint pen, and it doesn't have to be super dark right away. It's almost like a pencil. You can see how light that is. You just kind of just go gently with it. In a way, it's kind of like, I was thinking about this earlier today, and excuse my soda. There it is. Ha ha ha. It's kind of like the difference, a ballpoint and a gel pen are like the difference between a piano and a harpsichord. Now let me explain. A harpsichord really only has one volume, and a piano you can play both gently and loud. And let me show you a wee example. Where is scrap paper? Here's some scrap paper. Whoop. All right. So for example, you can go gently, or you can go like really dark with a ballpoint. So you can bigly, you can see the difference there. This is a felt tip pen or Pilot Razor Point. This is a felt tip pen, and you can, but it's already darker. You can't really, and the only way to get like extra dark is to like scribble. But it doesn't have the same, like, you can do a gentle line with a ballpoint, but like the gentle line with this is already darker. So it doesn't have the same range. So while I absolutely adore gel pens and felt tip pens, they're not the best for this kind of project, in my opinion. Obviously, art is very subjective. Oh my gosh, my voice keeps echoing back. Can you guys hear that? Anyway, So, it's a stream about relaxing. We're going to relax tonight. We're just going to sit back, relax, be creative, and know that our responsibilities for the day are done. I mean, if you're taking the time to watch this stream, you've got time. And I'm very happy for you. I want you to have time to just relax. You are not obligated to do anything for me. You are not obligated to do anything for anyone else. So we'll start with like a little built doorway. Is this music too loud? Is this okay? Definitely give me feedback if something sounds too obnoxious. I don't want it to start looking too mathematical here, too grid-like. And I'm going to work on that as we go. But just to have a little sense of something happening here. And there's going to be like, it's going to go down. So, just a hint of the inside. And I do apologize if my camera gets very unfocused. It does that. But you'll start to see things clearer and clearer as this gets darker. That's my intention, at least. And either way, I'm going to be scanning this. I might actually, if I do choose color, I'll scan this as black and white first, and then I will color it in. I'll do this as black and white. I'll scan it, and then I'll color it and scan it again. So we'll have two separate images. Oh my gosh. So while you're relaxing, while you're joining me tonight, take a deep breath, stretch out your body, if you got anything hydrating, drink. All right. We got a tree growing over whatever opening this is. And again, we don't have to worry about lines intersecting and crossing over. We're not erasing anything tonight. We're just scribbling over where things are. Where we don't want things, or we do want things. We shape it with shadows. We shape it with scribbles. And this is going to be in the middle of the woods, so I'm going to have more trees in the background. So I'll just hint those out now. Just hint that there's trees. We can start with some details just to get a feel for what this is what it wants to be. Not to get too Bob Ross on it, but like sometimes a picture wants to create itself. And I'm okay with that. Just get loose with it. Maybe this one has a carving in it or something. I don't know. I'm going to leave a space for a carving on this one. You can decide on that later. Just leave it like a little panel. Now the question is is there light as you go further in, or is it darker as you go further in? Which is the better choice? I'm not going to color it yet, so if you guys have any feedback on that, let me know. Do you want this tunnel to lead to something bright, like a Fey underground rave, or would it be like a little, you know, badgers having a nice little hearth? Words. It's been a long week, but tomorrow is Friday, and tomorrow is Juneteenth, which is a holiday that's way more worth celebrating than so many holidays. Like St. Patrick's Day, Valentine's Day. What did they accomplish? I don't know. Juneteenth is like valid, right? Columbus Day. I'm glad that has been relabeled as Indigenous Peoples Day. Going into the light. Yeah, it could be like a warm light, and if we color it in, we can decide if it's like a warm light or if it's like a cyberpunk light in that it goes into, because it could be like the future, a tunnel to the future. But if it fades to dark, that could be like, that could set the tone to like, oh, it's really creepy. Because if you come across this in the middle of the woods, you'd be like, oh, I don't want to go down there. I don't want to find out what's in there. Is it someone's grave? Is it something's grave? Is this a portal to somewhere? Like, you don't need to have a steady hand at all for this. As you can see, I'm just kind of literally scribbling. And the nice thing is it can be covered up with grass too. You can add some grass. And you can have long grass or like little flowers. You just kind of hint at what they are. One thing I do recommend, if you wanted to try doing this, don't be afraid of the white open spaces that you don't draw. Like, sure, like you want to color stuff in, you want to shade stuff, but the white, the negative space, the highlights are also very important. So like, give it chance to breathe before you shade it more. Like, feel free to sit back, look it over again, and then decide what you want to do with it. If you're on the fence. And the nice thing about bark is like, scribble. You can even hear that, I'm sure. I don't know if this is good ASMR or bad ASMR, but here you go for you ASMR people. Oh yeah, we got some roots. Maybe they'll start twisting their way around the rocks. And you don't need to color in the lines for this kind of stuff. So has anybody been inspired lately to create anything? Be it cosplay or writing or, um, you know, uh, recipes or art? I would love to hear what you're doing. And I don't know if anyone has been inspired to make art um, from these live streams, but I would love to see your results if you have been. Honestly, I don't know if this is inspiring or if you just like hanging out. Well, either way, I'm excited that you're here because woohoo! Woohoo! Tough Puppers is a fan of Bark Bark. Surprising. Wah, wah. I know Tough Puppers is also a fan of caffeine. El caffeine. Tough Puppers. I know this is your first stream of mine, so I'm gonna go ahead and say it again, because you hadn't heard it before. But you don't need to be skilled to make art. You can make art without being good at it. Because you know how you get good at it? Practice. Shocker, I know. You can just, if you feel bad about using a paper, get scrap paper. If you don't know what to draw, just draw doodles. You don't have to even show your art to anyone. If you like making it, then do it. If you don't like making it, obviously, I'm not here to force you. I'm not. But if you think it's fun, even just a little bit of fun, do it. There's no art police. Other than people who guard art in museums, and that's different. That's museum police. Just like people who are bad at singing are allowed to and encouraged to sing badly in their car to the radio. You know? People who are bad at video games. What's stopping them from playing video games? They don't, just because they're not doing it professionally. Who cares if you're bad at it? If it's fun, do it. Ooh, drink and draw nights are fun. Next Wednesday is a drink and draw night for my local art group at a local comic book shop. And I look forward to it. I missed it last month and I was bummed about that. But I haven't missed it many times in the past couple of years. Oh my gosh, has it been like a couple of years now? Jeez. But I look forward to that every month. That's your shop. A. Carter. Who could A. Carter be? I don't know, just some Carter. Wah, wah. For anyone local or semi-local, please come on down to Counterplay Comics in Burlington, Massachusetts, because they're cool. Just don't be a jerk about stuff, because Amy will come and kick your butt. And you can tell her that you know me, and then that gives her permission to kick your butt. Because I don't I don't send people there who are bad people. You know, I'm only friends with good people. Yeah, well, it's a nice sound out the window. Woohoo! Very nice, loud noises out my window. As you can tell, this is a very professional live stream. Very professional indeed. Nothing but the pros here, baby. Scribble, 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 scribble. A nice thing about trees and rocks is that they don't have to be perfect anythings. Not perfect spheres or cylinders. Trees are weird shaped. They got branches coming out from various places. There's like every tree is going to look a little different. Especially the ones out in nature that aren't pruned or what's the word, like bonsai'd or what have you. What have you. Oh my gosh. Can you guys hear the music all right? And can you hear me echoing back in the speakers? Because that's super annoying on my end. So, Tough Puppers, tell me, what would happen if you drew something poorly? Honestly, what's gonna happen? Have you seen children draw? Because if you've seen children draw and they're allowed to, like, come on, dude. I'm not asking you to do it for a job, and like I said, I'm not even asking you to show it to anybody. But if you enjoy it, I'm not saying do it just because you have to. I'm saying do it if you want to do it. You don't have to argue like, no, I'm so bad. That's not a reason to not do it. I don't like it is a reason to not do it. Well, this is where your art comes from, this Hellmouth. I don't know. Let's test your theory, shall we? Let's test your theory. Draw me something. Well, we can even do an art trade if you wanted. Anybody in chat right now, feel free to reach out to me in the Discord. There's a link for the Discord. And you can reach out to me and we will do an art trade. If you think your art is that bad, I will draw you a picture. And as long as you give me your best effort to draw me a picture. Does that sound fair? If anyone's up for that, I promise you, I will stand by my word. Because I feel that passionately about art. And that passionately about, that's just a thing that people do. Cave people made, like, awkward looking horses and bulls and deer. And have you seen people in cave drawings? Not accurate at all. But they were allowed to do it. We revere those pictures. So, if you're drawing like glyphs to hell, sure. Then if you're actually making like summoning something and you make like a summoning portal and a portal to hell opens up, well then that's on you. you drew the wrong thing, but that has nothing to do with your skill. Honestly, that would make your skill pretty dang impressive. Because I'm sure there have been people who've tried to open portals to hell with you know, drawing, not portals, summoning circles. That's the word. Drawing and talking is not my best, and maybe I should have rethought doing this, but you know what? I'm doing it. Whatever. I feel like there should be something. Ooh, 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 ooh. I'm gonna draw a little fairy ring of mushrooms. We'll just map them out here. And then, yeah, a little fairy ring of mushrooms right before the portal. Portal. Yeah, I'm glad that you enjoy art. Even if you don't want to make it, that's fine. You don't have to. And I don't mean to make a big thing of it. It's just I see people say that all the time. I can't draw. I can't draw. And that, like, it sets me off in like this tangent, and I'm like, you can draw. Like, that's like me saying I can't play video games. Yeah, I can play video games. I'm not good at it, and I don't prioritize that in my life. I play The Sims, but that's playing a dollhouse. That's not playing a video game. That's playing a dollhouse. Video games have puzzles and fights and, like, racing and things like that. There's lots of video games are competitive on some level. Sims is just chaos, and I embrace chaos. So just drawing dirt is like a lot of little pebbles, a lot of little just circles and lines, because it gives it that gritty, crunchy feel, like you can hear the gravel. A nice thing with the pen and drawing nature stuff with ballpoint pen is grass doesn't even grow in one direction. Like, it goes up, but it also goes sideways and in patches. It doesn't grow evenly, as people's lawns would lead you to believe. So already we're getting a little scene going on. So now that our picture is underway, unclench your jaw, wiggle your eyebrows, and relax the tension that's in your forehead. Roll out your shoulders and your neck. Try to get out some of that tense energy from the day. You don't have to hold on to it right now. And it's just natural for your body to try to hold on to it just in case. But you can let that go. I highly recommend letting it go. Drawing grass next to things makes it feel solid. Like, oh, this is literally right on the ground. It landed and crushed the grass, or the grass was like, oh, I want that space, and it just didn't have the room. So, what else? This is probably going to be like, I'm probably going to have leaves up here for like, there's going to be like a closer tree. Just for the effect of depth. The close tree, the middle, the background. I don't know what kind of tree this is, other than a close tree. I don't think that's a kind of tree. Well, what do I know? I'm not an arborist. What do I know? Oh, stream on our draw night. The chaos. I should, if I knew how to stream from Drink and Draw, I would do that. But I do it from my PC, so I don't know if I could stream during Drink and Draw, but then I'd miss you guys, and I'd be like, wah. That's why I set it up on. That's part of the reason why I set it up on Thursdays, is so it wouldn't conflict with Drink and Draw, and also because in college, every Thursday I dubbed Hawaiian Thursday, because I have a Hawaiian shirt collection and I wanted an excuse to wear them. So I made up a holiday and I called it Hawaiian Thursday. And anybody from Marist College in that era that I was friends with got a voicemail every Thursday morning of, like, because you could leave silent messages on people's phones for whatever reason. So I could leave a message on people's phones without it ringing. And I would leave one at the break of dawn every Thursday morning saying, Happy Hawaiian Thursday, I hope you have a great day. Because I'm a weirdo, and I was up super duper early in college. I was like one of the first people, other than the crew team, at the cafeteria for breakfast. Like, I don't know what's wrong with me, other than being a morning person, but that I think is a valid thing to be wrong with me. Isn't this nice though, how like ballpoint pen, this is literally the only tool I've used for this picture so far, and I don't need to erase a ding dang thing. I love it, ballpoint pens. I like the mushroom fairy ring too. I don't have any Smurfs to live in it, but then again, this isn't the Netherlands, so no Schtroumpfs. We got different fairies. You're fairy. If I could farm anything, it would be mushrooms, because I am very bad at growing plants. I heard, I think it might have been a couple of years ago, that mushrooms are, well, they're not plants. Fungus are not plants. They can be classified as animals, or closer to animals, not as animals, but because of the way they eat, they absorb things rather than, like, plants will photosynthesize. Mushrooms, like humans, will absorb nutrients in order to grow. And I thought that was kind of interesting. And the mushrooms that you see are just the fruits that you see on the surface, most of the fungus is under the ground. And I think that is really funky and cool because nature's bitchin'. So does anybody have any plans for the weekend? It's like not the last weekend in June, but it's getting there. Ugh, which means I need to pay rent soon. And I have to get my car inspected this weekend. Yay, my favorite. This is definitely a Europe or New England kind of setting because it's so rocky. Rocky. Are you running a tournament right now, Amy? Because if so, I'm sorry. I hope that they're behaving themselves. And I also want to thank you for all the drink and draw stuff because I think that's given me practice talking while drawing, which is a thing that I am. Usually at least at drink and draw, I have someone else to talk to, and yes, I'm talking to you guys, but essentially I'm in a room by myself, so it's a little weird. I've gotten used to it, like, because this is what, my sixth stream? So I'm getting there. I'm getting used to it. Alright, this tree is looking a little too smooth, so I'm just gonna give it bigger scribbles. Makes the bark look a little more craggy. It's a little dark. It's alright. Trying to decide what. Smooth lines indicates a smooth surface. So these leaves are probably kind of smooth. Oh, excuse me. Right. Look at some of these pictures for background references. Pinterest. Alright. So they've got like ferns, big plants. Trying to get a rough idea of what else would go in there. Yeah, bush lines. Ooh, bench. Stuff like that. All right. Well, no. If this was the picture that we were going off of. See, there's these in the foreground, and then there's trees in the background, and then there's like ferns, and then there's this foreground. So I just need a lot more plant life, probably. I could have made it bigger, but you know what? I kind of like this. I just have to do a lot of scribbling for these trees and this plant life. So we got some bushes. Loopa, 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 loopa. Once you get a few of these leaves in there, and you get the hint of it correctly, or you get the hint of it clearly enough, then you can start working in scribbly scribbles. Try not to run over the grass too much. We're not mowing the place. This is wild. This is wilderness. No mowing here. That is a rainbow trilobite. Da, 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 da. And a dragon skeleton. I don't know if I've shown my clipboard here. Let me take a moment to show my clipboard. I've got my stickers of Dragon Con. This is Dreaming of Dragon Con. This is a Swag and Seek logo with the Marriott carpet pattern. And over here I have my aesthetic bottles that say stay hydrated. It's a little citrus sunset, a little purpley moon space looking one, and some light bulb boba tea thing. And then I've got some washi tape that looks like photo negatives, but they're positives. So yeah, I like stickers. I have so many stickers. I actually have four regular size clipboards. This is an 11 by 17 clipboard, but I have four 8.5 by 11 clipboards that are like the backs of them are filled with stickers. I have so many. I love stickers. And for a while I was like, I don't want to stick them. I love them so much. I don't want to commit. But then I realized, oh, I use my clipboards all the time. And yeah, okay, I'll commit to those. That way I get to see my stickers all the time if they're on a thing that I love. Gotta have some big leaves. Maybe a little sapling thing is trying to come up. Nature just chooses what it wants to do. Just try to let it be. Try not to think about it too hard. Try not to overthink it is what I was trying to say. You are all very patient. You're probably going, oh, Sue, it's this word. And I'm like, I can't hear you over here. Oh, I hear. That dweep dweep noise you hear is my Discord. So someone is sending a message on Discord. And y'all, I am not checking my Discord while I'm streaming. Sorry. Alright, this is going to be like a little slab of stone there. With a little pebble. Or like Pinkie Pie's sister's pet boulder, her pet rock. Who's about this size. She named him Boulder. Boulder likes to play hide and seek. I love Maud Pie. She's so cute. She's very silly. It's a basic joke. You're a basic joke. Alright, I'm not going to spend the rest of the stream quoting My Little Pony. I promise. No promises. I love My Little Pony. Though, if you're watching this, you probably know me. And therefore, you probably know that I love My Little Pony. What do you guys like to do to unwind? Is it a one thing that you really like, or do you have like a whole bunch of things that you toggle through in your life that you use for relaxing? Well, I'm going to put in a fern. Ferns are... I love ferns. When I was a kid, I used to play in the woods. I didn't have a lot of local friends. I had like some friends, like not very loyal friends in elementary school, so I played by myself a lot. But that's okay, because I used my imagination a lot. I was a very sensitive kid. Shocker, I'm sure. But when I was in the woods, like, there were these big stones in the woods, like at the end of my street. I lived up on a dead-end road. And so I named them the Big Rocks. Like, all the kids in the neighborhood who did go play at the Big Rocks all called it the Big Rocks. But they weren't there as often as I was. I lived at the Big Rocks. They were my second home. Like, I played in my room a lot. I didn't go outside as much as I probably should have, but I loved the Big Rocks. And I learned to love, like, not that I learned to love, but I found that I really like moss and ferns, like, aesthetically. I was just so happy being in a place with rocks and moss and ferns. It's such an aesthetic, you know? But I still love rocks and moss and ferns. And whenever I see a good rock, I'm like, oh, I want to take it home. And sometimes I do. And then I'm like, what am I going to do with this rock? Why did I pick it up? But I'm like, oh, it's such a good rock, though. I have problems, guys. They're definitely not big problems. special. I am special. Oh, it's a nice little rock bench to sit on while you're deciding if there's light coming out or darkness going down. Because sometimes you just gotta mentally sit yourself on this rock and figure it out. This is going to be ferns too, but I want to map them out. Mapping out the stems of the ferns. I'm sorry that you didn't live near the woods or a forest. Ink. I think we would have been friends in elementary school. And I think I could have used a friend in elementary school. Like I said, I had some, but they were not loyal friends. So it was a lot of those, like, oh, are they going to be my friend this week? That sort of thing. But that's kids. That's how kids are. These are not my best ferns. Fernship is magic. These look a little better. But ferns are like, each little branch is its own thing. Like, ferns up close are so pretty. I love flower arrangements that have ferns in them. So I'll put some grass around it, establish it here in the world, anchor it here. Just like yourselves, establish yourselves in the world, anchor yourselves in the world. That fern doesn't need a job to be valid. It doesn't have to prove itself. It doesn't have to be good at drawing. It has value. All on its own, just the way it is. I've become that person. I know I'm going over stuff again and again and again, but the tree wanted me to shape it more. So are you writing anything tonight, Ink? Are you working on anything, like any personal projects, like even ones that you're not trying to get published? Just stuff you're doing for you? Because there are sometimes I draw just for me, and I'm like, this isn't for anybody else. I'm not sharing this. Not because it's like inappropriate or like really private stuff or anything. It's just, no, I just want to draw this for me. And I just get a little selfish with it. And honestly, that is what your hobbies should be. They should be for you. Obviously, if you want to pursue it as a career, there's more to it. But if it's something you enjoy, you can still also do it for yourself. I know we have a few writers in here. Crackle Moon is a fanfic writer. I've tried my hand at writing a little bit, and I enjoy it, but I have been so much more consumed with art lately. That's the troubling thing with having to have a job and hobbies. Like, I don't have time for both, so I have to prioritize what hobbies I spend my energy on, and I don't like capitalism. I want to spend my time drawing and learning Spanish and writing and reading and playing Sims. Big leafed plant here. How long's it been? It's barely been an hour, and we've got a whole little scene going on. That's pretty good. We might have time to color it tonight. So far, my art has been taking me 3 hours from start to finish, which is not bad. I'm shocked that anybody sticks around. And honestly, if you come in and leave and then come back, or you only come in partway through, hey, you do you. This is just an optional little stream, and I know you've got your own life. So the fact that you showed up at all means the world to me. So thank you. But definitely don't do it as an obligation, because I have no idea who's here and who isn't here. I'm not taking attendance. You should do it entirely out of joy of being here, or the comfort of another voice, or like a familiar voice, or whatever. I hold no one obligated, because wow, if this became an obligation, that would be kind of sad. Because I'm doing this for me already, and this is voluntary, and just a background thing. I'm not putting pressure on myself, and I definitely wouldn't put pressure on anyone else. I don't know what plant this is, but it's growing here. Sure is growing. Wowee, look at you growing. Yeah, just some leaf-shaped scribbles. Gives the hint of a plant. And some grass-shaped scribbles underneath. This plant gives the illusion of grass under the shadows of the leaves. Blah, blah, blah. And this is why I like drawing with just a ballpoint pen sometimes. It's not my, like, always style, but it does create a mood. It does set a scene. What music did I put on here? I've got Oktoberfest music, I think. Yeah, that's a polka. attendance? I don't know what oh, attendance. Like, what the heck? Attendance. Hydrate, everybody. Whatever you got, take a swig. Hydrate. You guys like polka music? I do. I don't think I have a lot of polka music on this, so let's just tough it out. Let's just endure this song. And if there's a second one after this, I'll move on. All right. I think that was it. Yeah, we're good. We're back to normal. Well, normal. We're back to other styles of music. Adding a couple little lines, a couple little scribbles. Just adds that little extra shading, and a little extra depth. A little bit of softness. There is definitely something satisfying about watching a picture come together without expectations or without, knowing what's going to happen next. There's something satisfying about that too. This picture just chose its own path. And that's very freeing. This tree's got like vines and stuff on it. It's a background tree. You want to do the background probably less intense than this tree. Just keep them loose. Some trees are slanty, some are straighter. It's going to be a lot of like sunlight coming in through the leaves, so you definitely, I'm going to want to keep this just hinted at where the leaves are, because the more lines you have, the darker it'll be, the darker it'll look. And we're going to want to keep the front dark, keep the background light. Still debating, go down to dark or go down to a light. And if go down to a light, what kind of light? And what would be on this? And would that be determined? Oh, ink is starting to well up on the tip of this thing. Let's just wipe it off in a dark spot. Haha! Stretch out your legs. If you got shoes on, take them off. Even for a little bit. Just relax your feet. And it's not one of those streams. I'm not going to be talking about feet tonight or anything. I'm just trying to help you relax. Don't read too much into it so they know. It is kind of trippy to just be talking to myself in a room. But drawing helps me focus and helps the time pass. And hopefully I don't come off too awkward with the commentary. I know the whole relaxation thing comes off a little bit forced, but I do genuinely mean it. You should stretch your arms over your head, stretch out your back, shift your hips, shift your lower back, try and get out some of that tension, and just let everything go a little bit loose again. We're not talking about feet to get followers. I don't care about followers. Not that level. Not to stoop myself to that level. No. I'm not drawing feet either. No. If I were doing this for the followers, I would find other ways. I am doing this for the fun. I'm not doing this for money. I'm not doing this for fame. I am literally just doing it because it sounded like an interesting thing to try. I'm happy with how this is coming out so far. It's pretty simple. It's pretty basic, but it's complicated enough, I guess. It's deep enough that you can tell what's going on. I wouldn't mind visiting this place. Sitting on this little bench here. Well, actually, that would be kind of a small rock. If the mushrooms are any size indicator, that would be a small hole, or those are huge mushrooms, or they're way more in the distance than I realized. But you know what? I like the mystery of this being a smaller hole. So does anybody have any summer plans they're looking forward to, or plans in the fall, or you know, any projects you're currently working on that you're happy about, or things you recently did, stuff you're proud of, or new memories you made? I don't know who has, you know, good news or things they're working their way through and made little progress, you know. Even if it's like, oh yeah, I got out of bed and I've been like super depressed lately, and so getting out of bed is a huge step for me. I'm proud of you if that's the case. If you're just getting yourself to the next day, that's uh, that's a big feat. Yeah, here we go back to the feet. No, it's a big accomplishment to make it to the next day, because not everyone gets to. But it's hard to motivate for that, because everything and everyone wants something from you, it feels like sometimes. Or you feel like, what's the point? Why does any of this matter? So getting up to motivate yourself to go anywhere, to do anything, I fully applaud anybody who is getting about their day, no matter what that day looks like. If you just got up and all you did today was eat loose shredded cheese over the sink and splash your face and then went back to bed, that still counts for something. Give yourself some credit. There's always going to be somebody to compare yourself with, always going to be the thing you wanted, or the thing that you wish for, or the ideal that's just unreachable. You are not obligated to be that unrealistic goal. Give yourself credit and allow yourself to enjoy the nice things that are in your life. Take a minute to think about, rather than all the stuff that's going wrong, think about all the stuff that is kind of going right. The little things that you take for granted, like electricity, indoor plumbing, the fact that pizza exists and can make it to your door. Like, you don't have to make it. That's pretty nice. We live in a time when, like, chocolate exists. We live on a planet where chocolate exists. That's pretty awesome. There's all kinds of things in life that life would be sad without. So take the moment to be like, well, yeah, that life would be sadder without this. This one thing, whether it's, modern medicine or the internet or Cheetos, whatever, doesn't matter. Obviously, that thing doesn't fix all the problems of the world, but it makes you realize that it's not all bad. Things have been bad before in your life and in history, and things will be bad again, I'm sure. But things are also good. There are good memories. There are good people in the world. Good organizations. There's thousands of people who want the world to be better, that want us to do better. that want to help. And that's beautiful. The fact that you exist in the world makes me so happy. And I hope you continue to exist in this world. And I hope that you thrive. Whether you're thriving now or in the future, I hope that you do. I hope you're thriving now, but I know that there are a lot of people out there who are not. They're struggling. Everybody's struggling with something. And I can't fix it. But I hear. I hear your struggles. I care about your struggles. And you are valid despite them. And with them. You are valid. Hmm. It, for some reason, as I'm drawing this, it looks different on the screen than it does on, like, with my eyes looking at the page. Maybe because the screen makes it a little fuzzier. Because my camera doesn't focus very well. But honestly, for this week's stream, that's not so much a problem. Because this is just all scribbles. With other ones where there's like tiny details that you want people to see, and it's not so great at that. I probably should consider getting another camera that doesn't do the autofocus thing. But since this was just kind of a, hey, I'm interested in learning about streaming kind of thing, it just, I didn't bother. Tough puppers, cheese fixes all. Unless you're lactose intolerant, in which case, I'm sorry. Cheese is beautiful. But I also feel that way about candy. And I also feel that way about cake. And I also feel that way about bagels sometimes. Oh, man, I love carbs so much. Carbs and dairy, my favorite food groups. Like cereal and milk, cake and ice cream, bagels and cream cheese, pizza with crusted cheese, bagels. I said bagels. Donuts and coffee, like with cream. Oh, mac and cheese, baby, mac and cheese. Pasta. I am a vessel for pasta. Grilled cheese sandwiches. Oh, so good. Good God, I love grilled cheese sandwiches and mac and cheese. Have you ever had a mac and cheese grilled cheese? Like a grilled cheese sandwich with macaroni and cheese in it? Ah, it's wonderful, and I highly recommend anyone who can handle dairy and gluten. Do it. Do it. Though I imagine a gluten-free, you can use gluten-free bread and pasta to make that too. I don't know how well that grills. Uh, you, with food, anything is possible. Yeah, I think anyone who's closer, like genetically, the people who are whose heritage is closer to the equator, would be more lactose intolerant. And I heard that is because um, in the north, like in, like Scandinavia and Russia and Canada, like those climates, there's a lot more darkness and cold in the winter months where you don't get the sunlight. And when you don't get the sunlight, you don't get your vitamin D. And so they've developed, they drank milk to get the vitamin D. And it was like considered a medicine. And that's why you hear like things in Skyrim like milk drinker, because you need to get your strength from milk. And yeah, so it's like you'll see a lot more northern European dishes that have cheese in them. And with Japan, it's like they learned that cheese is glorious from, as the world became more international. And we've learned that, Japanese food is glorious as well. And we've Americanized so many dishes of various cultures. Oh, that randomly reminds me, like, I am not a sports person. I know, shock, gasp, surprise. But I've seen, like, the news reports in Boston, about the, um, about soccer, the World Cup. And I think it's so cool to see all the different people from all the different countries, like here in the US, just getting along, just like, and countries I just never think to pair up together, like Scotland and Morocco. I'm like, huh, that's random. Or like France and Iraq, and I'm like, huh, that's kind of cool. It was, I think, Brazil and Ghana or something. Like, I don't know who. I mean, obviously, if you're watching this and you're like, oh no, you're getting it wrong. Yes, I'm getting it wrong, but I'm just thinking of the different, how I perceived the different countries and the different pairings of the teams and stuff. And I love the competitiveness, but I also love like the unifying partiness of like people having this thing that they celebrate. It's really kind of cute in a way. I know that makes it sound like like I'm belittling it, but oh, people are confused about traffic cones? That I didn't hear. I didn't hear any of that. Like, and I don't even know like how many states they're doing the World Cup. Like, I imagine it's like a US tour. I know New York and Boston had the like New York was a week, or I think a week ago, and Boston is this week, but I don't know what other weeks it's going. And not to be that nerd, but it reminds me of Swedish camp. I tell so many Swedish camp stories, and I've only been like a few weeks out of my life. But there was this they had International Day, and this makes me think of International Day at Swedish camp, when all the different language villages would get together and we'd like sing our camp songs in our various languages. Like there was three French camps. There was Spanish camp, German camp, Danish camp, Swedish, Norwegian. I think there was Japanese. I think there was Russian. I remember hearing they were toying with having Klingon. Yeah, I know there was Japanese now that I think about it. That was Morinoike. Like, all the language villages, their names roughly translated to Lake by the Woods. But the Scandinavian ones were all a little too close, so they had to mix that one up. Like, in Swedish camp, Sjolunden is the woods by the lake, and the Norwegian one is the woods by the fjord, Skogfjorden. But French was Lac du Bois, Spanish El Lago de Bosque, German Waldsee, woods by the sea. And these were all in Minnesota, all these language camps. I was at Concordia College Language Villages, and I had the time of my life there. It was really cool. Not to say it was like the most perfect thing ever, but I think about it, it was a very cool experience. There was the experience of the village, like the language village, the language camp. But it was also an important part of my life because it was like my first taste of independence. Like, as a kid, I was very, like, not shy, but like introverted, and I was like, oh, I'm just gonna live with my parents forever. And like I took a flight with my sister once or twice. I went with my sister because she went to Swedish camp, but I went to Norwegian camp once. And so I remember at least once or twice I took the flight by myself. And that's kind of scary when you're a kid, like in, I think it was middle school or, yeah, because I don't think I could take it for high school credit yet. So, like, I was on a plane going out to Minnesota from Massachusetts and meeting all these people, and I only had myself to depend on for socializing. So it was like kind of cool. It was an eye opener, and I'm like, I really like this. I really like being independent, which was a new feeling for me, and I think that's probably why some of these memories stick in my brain. And that's how college was for me too. That like really nailed down that I like independence. Because I really had to depend on myself to get things done at college. Not to say like I was an island. No, but like if I didn't do the laundry didn't get done. If I didn't do my homework didn't get done. If I didn't set my alarm and go to class, I wouldn't go to class. Like, no one was there to tell me what to do. So I became self-reliant, but also independent. And that, like, those two things, I made myself proud, and I also enjoyed the freedom of being my own boss, or like of my life, if that makes any sense. Like, I don't want to run my own company, but like I like being in charge of my own life. And I was never a do tell me what to do kind of kid. And I'm still like not a don't tell me what to do kind of person, but like I really liked that independence. And so yeah. And there's me just yapping about my life again. So thank you for coming along with my journey. Yay. I would love to go to Sweden one day. Well, for more than one day, but you know. I'd love to go to Germany, Sweden. I've been to Ireland and I loved it. It was beautiful. And we went, it was 20 years ago. Why was that 20 years ago? Yeah, well, it was 22 years ago that we went to Ireland on our honeymoon. Guys, I've been married for 22 years. Dating for 30 this September. This September is our 30th dating anniversary. Why am I so old? Why are you friends with such an old person? Oh my gosh. You guys are friends with an old person. I'm telling. Your friends are gonna be like, ugh, you friends with an old person? No. Why? They only like boring things like bird watching and drawing with ballpoint pens. On paper? Ugh. In Again, going back to my obsession of art fight lately, um, I've been spending a lot of time in the art fight Discord because I'm just curious about like the atmosphere of the other people who are doing art fight, and they are all teens and early 20s. They all call me Unk, which I guess is the young person term for old person. Like it's not boomer level like you're old. It's just like I'm the cool uncle level, Unk. So that's been a learning curve. Um, but I'm learning that so many kids and so many young adults have always drawn with have always drawn digitally. And they're like, "Oh, it's easy. You can do it." And I'm like, "Yeah, I know I can, and I know why I probably should, but I don't feel the desire. I don't. I like. There's part of me that's like, oh yeah, digital art is so cool because it's not wasteful. It doesn't. You don't need to keep buying markers. You don't need to. Um, you turned 39 this month. Oh well, happy birthday! I turned 50 this month. I'm always gonna be older than you. Ah ha ha ha. Um, but yeah, I know I can do digital art, and I see that people, you know, like it looks cool because you can just kind of like use your finger. You don't have to buy markers. You don't have to buy paper. You don't waste anything. If you don't like it, you don't have to rub an eraser against it and then brush off all the little shavings that are left. You don't have to throw away a page that you spilled water on. You don't have to, you know. But I love the feel of the pen on paper, and I'm old fashioned that way. And I know you can use pen on a screen, but it's not the same feeling. It's not. And to get that feeling, you have to spend a ton of money on things like whatever that tablet is that feels like paper. I'm like, just get paper. It's cheaper. It literally grows on trees. And if using paper encourages people to plant trees, I will use paper. I there are some people that don't like digital art in general, but I just think of it as a different medium. It's like paint and pen are different mediums. Um, Digital music and classical music are different mediums. That doesn't make one better than the other. They're different, but like they're both worthy, I think. Again, I can only give my opinion. Obviously, everyone has their reasons for the things that they like. Well, not always. They don't always have to have reasons for what they like and don't like, but generally, if you ask someone, "Oh, do you like this?" Yeah, no. This is just my opinions on things. You're watching my stream, you get my opinions. That's what you get. You signed up for this. If you don't like it, you can watch someone else's stream or do something else. I'm gonna be unapologetically myself. Me and my weirdness. I don't know if this music really goes with this scene, but whatever. It's music. I think it's starting to really come together. The background is taking a lot more effort than I thought it would. I was thinking like the foreground was going to be the thing. The foreground is the star, but like the background in this is taking a lot of effort. With other pictures, the background tends to be simplified. If I do a background at all, there's plenty of pictures I don't even bother with a background. In the last stream, I just drew like a circle and drew the background in the circle, so it was like a hint at what the background was, but it only was encompassed in that circle. And I kind of love that trope. It's a simplified hint at where characters are, or a setting, or a vibe, or an aesthetic, a core, dream core, sad core. Me core, foul core. Alright, so what's everyone's favorite obscure movie? Or what movie will always stick in your mind because it was so weird or so I don't know, it's so different from other movies that you've ever watched. Opinionarted? A new art series idea. Opinionarted. Kung Pao Enter the Fist. Is that the... What am I thinking of? Is that the funny one? Is that the comedy kung fu movie? No. That's Kung Fu Hustle. That's what I'm thinking of. I like Kung Fu Hustle. Warriors of Virtue. What was Warriors of Virtue about? And what was Kung Pao Enter the Fist about? Well, I'm guessing it was a fighting movie. What made... Oh. Warriors of Virtue? Kangaroo Wars? It wasn't Kangaroo Jack, right? And it wasn't, Tank Girl with the kangaroo people in that? I think I'm gonna have some other, a big stone over here. I'm gonna make this a big rock. Big upright stone for no reason. Ooh, maybe it also will have a symbol on it. Oh, the picture. It talked to me. Live action type movie with kangaroo warriors, huh? The young boy stumbles into a mystical world based on the Tao Te Ching, where he meets the titular warriors of virtue, anthropomorphic kangaroos, who wield the power of Tao and battle an evil warlord. The Irish band Clannad provided the original song, Forces of Nature. What even? I can see why that would be a kind of movie. Because, what even? Now, dude had a... So creating with ink. It was Enter the... Okay, so it was a Kung Fu parody. It was Enter the Fist. Dude had a talking tongue, fought a cow, looked for the guy who killed his parents, Taco Bell, and many phrases that I still use this day. The weird movies are very quotable movies. One movie that stuck out to me as, like, I was obsessed with it as a kid, Rock and Roll. I loved Rock and Roll, and I still quote it to this day. It was a cartoon that took place in, like, the post-apocalyptic future, and it was like all I think they were anthropomorphic, because it said the only survivors after the World War were dogs and cats and rats, and they evolved into our main characters. And it was like, it was dirty, it was like post-apocalyptic. It was, not Mad Max, but it was like it was like a city Mad Max. Everything was just like slummy and gross and electric, and and they were summoning demons and stuff like that. And it's like, I mentioned it to my parents. I'm like, we let you watch this? I'm like, yeah, I watched it so much I memorized it. I could still recite it, and I'm 50 years old now, and I watched it as a kid. Like, I was maybe 10. It was a good movie, though. It was very well animated. Okay, I'm glad that you also... I know that that's fantastic that you also can quote, and do quote, Rock and Roll. I just told someone today. Oh, so loud. I was just talking with someone today, and saying, like, oh, yeah, this character's evil. And I'm like, yeah, but evil spelled backwards is live, and we all want to do that. And all I could think of was the Zipper Brothers. Mark, is what we are doing evil? Uncle Mikey says we should be good. Oh, I love that movie, but I think on some level it probably traumatized me, but that's okay. I think kids need some traumatizing in their life. It builds character. Not like actual trauma. I'm not talking, I don't think kids should be actually hurt, but I think kids should learn about topics that adults think kids shouldn't know about. I think that's important for kids to talk about, you know, death and sex and, you know, these are parts of life that you're going to learn about later. You're going to have to eventually learn about it sometime. And the more time you have to process it, the better, I think. Oh, what will the signal be for your eyes to see me? And thank you for the compliment on my voices. I love doing voices. I wanted to be a voice actress. I wanted to do that for a living, and then I realized, well, I basically learned, oh, it's an acting job, just like any acting job, where you have to audition. It runs the length of whatever production that is, and then you have to look for another gig and audition for another gig. And I'm like, ugh, I am not a competitive person, so I don't want to do this. I don't like this. I want stability in my life. So voice acting is now just a background thing. I will do, I have done phone systems. Hi, thank you for your call. That sort of thing. Because I can do that voice. And I've done some relaxation audio MP3s, which I'm always glad to do again. This one also has leaves on it. How do you guys think this is looking? You gotta do more with this fairy circle, I think. Should there be a spiral in it? A spiral in the fairy circle? Yeah, a lot of voice actors work from home. I don't know not nearly enough about an audio mixer to do that from home, but I also, again, don't want to audition for everything. I want to, like, there's no health benefits for gig work. So I like stability, as in the ability to stability. But I also like stability in the fact that I like having reliable work, so I just do office monkey work, where I get to use my phone voice all the time. Thank you for calling. This is Sue. How can I help you? Just a moment. Let me transfer you. Yeah, that whole gig. She's done for the day, though. You guys get artist me. Or smooth jazz me. You're listening to Easy Listening Suchan Art Stream. And up next is some music that I saved along the way that I don't know what it's called, but it says so in the chat. Huh. I've not heard your voice, Ink, so I can't say that I understand why people would think you were a woman, but from pictures I've seen of you, you don't look like you would have a womanly voice. But I don't know. You can't necessarily look at a picture of a person and know what they sound like. Alright, guys. I'm debating. What is it? 10 o'clock? This has been 2 hours, right? What do you think? Should it go? Should it go to something lighter underneath, like it's welcoming you in or inviting you in, or should it be creepy and dark and like very like eerie to if you went in? And I think I am gonna go with a spiral in this. So which is that's Widdershins, that's Diesel. So Widdershins. I don't want songs with lyrics, please. I don't want songs with lyrics, please. Hey, music. No. 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 No, this is a no for the music. Oh, no. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. My music, going to go to green space. A green space, a gentle mood that I've saved. Since we're getting on in the hours in the game, in the picture, in the stream, we'll get to something more just soothing and relaxing in the game. Yay, it's in the game. So many scribbles. Untrained scribbles. So you can just add scribbles wherever you want. You can. You're allowed. But the scribble police gotta come? Alright. Let me pull up chat again. Alright, guys. 1's in chat for going dark. 2's in chat for going to light. Because I'm torn. Because I like both aesthetics. Like Tough Puppy was pointing out, I like the unexpectedness of going to a lighter room, or a lighter space, that is. I don't know if it's a room down there. But I also like the creepiness. If it's a creepy thing, like we can use like different shades of greens in this picture. We can make it more nighttime and make it more eerie. But if it's something warm, we can make it more like sunny and welcoming and magical kind of feel. There's another stone back here behind this hill. I just decided. little dirt things like this is kind of how I do scales sometimes on scaly beasties. Just like at random little clumps of. I also do it like with sparkles. You know, some here, some there. I try not to make it too even. Yeah. Yeah, it's. I want it to look formulaic or formalized, or you want it to look natural and a little chaotic. Or at least I want it to look a little natural and chaotic. Because that's what this is about. That's what tonight's picture is. Natural and chaotic. Like myself. Como yo. Natural y caos. So we got a 2, a 1. Oh boy. Someone else in chat. We've got a tie. A 2 and a 1. Wait, one was to go into darkness, right? And 2 was to go into light. Because if it's going into darkness, that's like lighter up here, but real dark down there, so you won't see a shadow of anything. So one, oh boy, was 1 creepy and 2 was light. I feel like 1 was, if I'm wrong. Oh my god, I don't even know my own choices. Forgive me. Oh, it was too dark. Maybe I'm an idiot. You choose dark. Tough puppy, what did you choose? Dark or light? Light. Okay, that's what I thought. That's what I thought. So, if ink, you were saying like you choose dark, but with a shadow of something near at the bottom, you can't have a shadow in the darkness because it won't show up against the darkness. You have a shadow when there's light. So no. And I also don't know what I would make the shadow of. Would it be a humanoid form? Would it be just like a lump? Like, but again, light comes from like my hand. There's this, it is casting a shadow upon the page because there is a light source here. Oh, no, I'm talking about luminosity. I'm talking like when you walk into this tunnel, does it go down to a, like there's stairs going down. Does it go to something that emits light or something that is just a deep dark tunnel? Because if it's dark, that physically, like luminosity wise dark, that does look a lot creepier and has a darker feel, like the unknown, like not there's even a shadow of something there. There could be ghosts that don't project shadows. There could be just substances down there like ichors and oozes and things that also don't, you know, give off a shadow because they're like clung to the wall already. There could be just voices. Voices don't emit shadows. So, like, that could be creepy, or just silence. You could go in there and there's silence, or it's like another dimension. You could transport to a different time or a different space. So you want it to go into a light. All right, so we're going to start dark at the top and we're going into light. This helps me decide how to I'm going to shade the stones that are lining this hallway, the tunnel part. And if the light is coming from inside, the shadow is going to be on the opposite side of that. Alright. And it is going to be darker up at the top anyway, because the light would be less intense up here. It's more intense down here. And it's just going to be kind of naturalistic stone. I'm not going for any kind of like worked brick. Just kind of a stacked stone cairn. I don't know if this counts as a cairn, but you know what I mean. And I think I will be coloring this in. Excuse me, music. This is not what I asked for. No. Stations. Stations, please. I want chill guitars, please. Or do I want folk? Folk and acoustic music. No. I want chill guitars. And here we go, getting quiet again. Because I'm focused. I'm in the zone. I hope you guys are relaxing. I hope this has been a source of unwinding, or a part of your process of unwinding for the evening. I'm sure there are some inks comment about there aren't very many nice cryptids. There are some neutral cryptids, like Bigfoot. Bigfoot's just kind of like a leave me alone kind of vibe. But everyone's like, no, we gotta prove that Bigfoot exists. And it's like, why? Why? Just leave the poor creature alone. Like, I am in the I'm in the camp that Bigfoot is the ghost of a primitive human, or like not a primitive hominid. That Bigfoot exists, but not as a living thing right now. And just like I feel like Nessie, the Loch Ness monster, is the ghost. I know that one's been debunked, but Nessie is a ghost of a plesiosaur. Because why not? Alright guys, what's your favorite top 3 favorite dinosaurs? And top 3 favorite hominids? Homonyms? It is that ASMR. How's that looking? Seen it going down and see that light coming out. Like, oh, what's happening in there? Are there fae folk doing something? Are there yeah, like I said earlier, is it like Narnia where like there's the badgers living down there and they just want you to come in for a spot of tea? Is it like Mr. Tumnus? Mr. Tumnus would have to be really small to fit down this thing. Or those mushrooms are super big. Or it's magic. Magic. Someone did a rap about hominids, huh? Ooh, Megalodon, a raptor, and that spitting one with the big neck frills. That's very cool. Very, very cool. Go have a good dinner, tough puppers. I'm very glad that you came by, and you're always welcome to come by anytime or chat with me. I love catching up with you. I love chatting with anybody who wants to come chat with me. Say hi to Bunny for me. Watch rock and roll. Watch that camera focus and refocus and focus and refocus. All right, now what's a what's a good random symbol to put in stones? Like good glyphs. Oh, good glyph. If I could practice some glyphs and just have something like a come up with like some meaningless shape. Or like a yeah, sure. I'll go with those. Those don't mean anything. So I'll do that one for here. Trying not to overthink it too much. But I do want to give it a 3D-ish effect. Like it's carved in there. There we go. And this one can be that one. There we go. So we got some rocks with glyphs and mysterious light coming from within. And plenty of grass. I don't think that this really needs a whole lot else. You want to leave some white space. So what I'm gonna do in place of just erasing thing, I'm just gonna put this little guy up here while I scan this black and white one. Put this on my scan bed. Hit the button. Scanner. And then I'm gonna take a couple minutes and color it. And then we should be at the 3-hour mark after a little bit of coloring. It's gonna be kind of vague, gonna be kind of generalized, some grays, some yellows, some greens for the forest. And that's about it. So while that's warming up, get out my colors. Celery, light ivy, yes. Light green, no. No, not turquoise. Pale lime, no. Would be willow green, yes. Moss green, yes. Chartreuse, sure. Maize, sure. Goldenrod, yellow, sure. Do we have lemon? Banana. I don't want banana. That's also maize. A lemon yellow. Beige me. Me. I feel me about beige. I feel beige about beige. Alright. So I have finished the scanning. And instead of letting baby dragon soak, I'm going to let the scrap paper soak my markers that might bleed through. And I am going to get my various shades of gray. I'm going to start with the grays. Cool gray number 2 looks good. This gray number 5, no. Number 9, no. Cool gray number 1, no. Cool gray number 6, no. No. Let's start with cool gray number 1 and number 2. Oh. They are cool grays, but they still look warm. Pull this up so I can see chat. Ta-da! Remember the art you made? You, me, and the former roommate work the stripes? I put stripes on you? I don't remember that. I honestly didn't. I don't remember that. Oh, this marker is going to be thrown away. It is dead. It is deceased. A deceased marker. That was at the Tobeans Cafe. I remember the picture. Your character was super focused on his computer, on his writing. I was serving coffee, and your former roommate was like eating some kind of pastry or something, right? I don't remember anything involving stripes. I might have just fudged what you were wearing for a shirt. Maybe that's what it was. I like coming up with fashions for people, even though I am not much of a fashionista. Well, I guess I kind of know what looks good, or at least in my opinion, what looks good. That doesn't mean that my personal fashion matches. Much like the sketchiness of the pen, I'm not going to get too technical with the marker and the coloring. Oh, that's what I need is warm grays. I need warm grays for this tree. Warm gray number 3, baby. Well, definitely let me know in the Discord what you decided to do in the show. This warm gray sure looks yellow compared to everything else around it. But I'm sure it'll look gray when I put actual yellow in the picture. I'm not worrying too much about coloring in or out of the lines because it's all gonna kind of blend together when I start putting in more of the background colors. Yeah, just a little hint of something. So this picture, I think, could have been finished just as a black and white, which is why I wanted to scan it as a black and white separately. But just because it could be done doesn't mean I want to avoid coloring. I love coloring. I love color in general. Color is one of my favorite things. One of the things I had for my birthday earlier this month when I turned 50 was rainbow cake. I'm like, oh my gosh, two of the best things ever. Color and cake. They were selling it by the slice at the grocery store, so I'm like, yeah, give me rainbow cake. Give me all of it, please. I just realized I was going off screen. Aw, thank you for the happy birthday. I'm not much of a birthday person, so I don't really tell many people when it's my birthday, because I just don't, meh, I just meh, is how I feel, is meh. I don't dislike my life. I do like my life. I'm glad to be alive. But birthdays, I think, come with a lot of expectations. Like, we put expectations on ourselves sometimes. At least I do. And that part makes it... that's the part that... There's always a level of disappointment for me. So it's like, well, if I stop expecting things and I stop looking forward to things on that day and holding my hopes up for that day, that'll be better. If I have high hopes for that day, I will be disappointed. So keep the bar low and then do nice things other days. So I celebrate my life. I just don't really like celebrating my birthday specifically. As Professor Elemental sings, celebrate your oddities, your art, your own insanity. Celebrate your birth. Celebrate humanity. Celebrate your everything, and let me be clear, there's no such thing as normal. Everybody's weird. Celery. Celery. For those of you who do like your birthdays, I think that's fantastic. I think you should continue to celebrate the things that you love, be it your birthday or holidays or whatever it is. We should all have things in our lives that we're excited for, that we look forward to. I look forward to, the big events are right now, for me, the big things that I look forward to every year are Dragon Con and Art Fight. But there's the other things in life, like, that aren't just once a year, like Drink and Draw and Saturday mornings. I can make breakfast sandwiches. These are things I look forward to on a regular basis. Do you just not wake up early enough, Ink, when you say you haven't had breakfast? Do you just not like breakfast, or are you a late riser? I love breakfast foods. So even if I was a late riser, I think I would have breakfast for dinner regularly. I didn't always used to. I used to like I used to not like eggs. I've always liked pancakes. Um, I haven't had pancakes in a long time now. I want pancakes now. Just the word pancake, it makes me want pancakes. Pancakes are great. Let me tell you. Waffles, pancakes, French toast. The whole thing. It's a cake that you fry on a pan. It's not a pan of cake. There's sheet cake that's in a pan. Hmm. 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 What is that? That was like ivy. We need a willow. A willow. Willow. Oh, yeah. It's kind of a bummer that the camera doesn't quite pick up the colors the way I can see them here. But hopefully the scanner will. We'll get the details and the slightly more correct colors. One thing I've noticed with a scanner is I have these like day glow bright markers. They're the neon colors, and the scanner does not pick up those at all, and it's kind of a bummer. It like makes neon pink like a pastel pink, I'm like, that's not the right color. That's not even close. Yeah, we want moss on these rocks, baby. We want moss. I love moss-covered rocks so much. I'm getting a little bit here. I'm getting this. You can see it a little bit on the screen. The depth that I'm going for. Here I go being quiet again. Sorry about that. I got in the zone. I got hyper focused. So many focuses. Hyper uppercut. We got the moss, guys. The moss rocks. Those wet, fuzzy rocks. My favorite. This one's actually called moss green. Dark bushes here. And they were already dark, but now they can be officially dark green. Alright, I think I'm going to highlight that with blue. Blue is a good shader. Good shading color. And hints at cool. Like snow is usually colored as blue. Snow and ice. Gives it a cool effect. But it's also the shady side of things is the cooler side of things, so shading things with blue is, I mean, the cooler colors and stuff like that isn't the explanation, but it is more realistic to shade things with blue than it is with black. Oops, oops, that goes on there. Oops, oops, oops. Me and my oops. And I oop. This one is chartreuse. Maybe I'll do this. Warmer yellow. And then I will turn that into a warmer gray. This should be a brighter, bolder green. for being in the forefront. Oh, like, goth sucks. Good to see you, first off. When you say, like, you're used to seeing it have bleed marks, like, the lines between the strokes kind of bleed marks. Because this, I can assure you, is a bleeding marker. It just bleeds through the page as opposed to in between the lines. These markers are like Sharpies in that they smell so strong. You always know when I've been in a room coloring, because it reeks of markers. I have colors. Colors. I have pictures that you can still smell the marker like days later. You'd be like, oh God, you just hold the page to your nose and you get a contact high. You go there. Maybe this. Maybe this. You don't have to be sorry about being late. There's no late here. There's just show up when you want to show up, or show up when you can show up. I've said before, and I'll say it again. I don't know who's here and lurking, or I don't keep attendance of who's here or who isn't. I know that you've all got your own lives, and I'm not doing this like based on anyone's schedule. I'm doing this for me, and I love when anybody can or does or wants to show up. And if you want to but you can't, well, I mean, that's how life is, and that's why I record these. But you're never you never need to apologize for showing up when you show up, because the fact that you showed up at all makes me very happy. Very, very happy. So happy. Very happy. I know this front area should be some kind of beige-ish color. Oh wait, I actually have beige. No, goldenrod is not beige. Very much not beige, but it is a nice warm color to help deepen that. little bit of yellow in there. Where's my beige now? I gotta get that up. Gotta keep my bite. Oh no, that's not. That's nope. I know this is riveting. Listening to me pull out markers. Amazing! Wow, such good programming. Cream? No. Maize? No. Come on. Beige. Beige, baby. Let me just kind of give it the hint. Darken it under the shadows here. And so for Goth Socks and anyone else who might be just joining, the rest of this picture, other than like the color that I'm adding right now, the rest of this picture was done entirely with this pen. There was no pencil, no erasing, just pen. And it's been a fun little journey making this little penscape here. Darken these shadows a bit. Beige it up. Not a thing I usually say. Don't want to add beige usually to anything. Beige is usually, that's Backroom's corporate colors. Beige. That's a no thank you from me. Usually. Okay. I need some green for some grass. It's subtle enough, but it's bright enough. Artist Loft, these markers do not stink. They are very nice. They don't blend as well, but they also don't bleed as much. Definitely distinguish what's tree, what's grassy knoll, grassy earthy, whatever we want to call this little portal. We didn't never put any moss on this rock. So you're getting moss, rock. Snap, slap, slap that moss on there. What do you guys think? I have no idea if my markers have an expiration date. I think everything in the world has an expiration date. It would eventually dry out if you don't take care of it, but I don't know, because I use my markers a lot, so they don't. The only expiration my markers typically have are running out of juice before they would dry out. Marker juice. I crave the juice. Give me the marker juice. What do you guys think? Is this looking okay? This probably needs a little bit of shading, blending area here. Give me a thing to blend. Warm gray 3. That should be fine. How's that looking? What do you think? Would you say we're done? Would you? Would I? Would I? Hair lip, hair lip. That's what I was going for. It was supposed to look like the entrance to something, and at the beginning of the stream, it was like, oh, do we want this to be going down into something dark or lighter at the top and going into some kind of darkness? And it was voted on to go into some kind of light to make it seem more mysterious. And I kind of like that mystery too. So could I do a ton more with it? Probably. Am I going to? No, because it is 11 o'clock. And that makes it a 3-hour stream. Ta-da! I am going to scan this, though. Upload this to the YouTubes. And, yeah. We're gonna call this a finished work. Thank you, pen. You have served us well for this picture. And thank you, markers, for accentuating what the pen has created. All right. Well, I hope you guys have a great weekend. And I hope that you guys had a relaxing evening with me. And I hope that you're able to get the stress out of your mind when it's time to go to bed. I hope you're able to focus on the things that you're proud of, the things that you got accomplished and that you can check off your list, and that you think about happier memories rather than stressful worries. So, roll out your shoulders, unclench your jaw, and I will talk to you guys real soon. All right, thanks very much. Talk to you later. Bye.